I'm so nervous. I'm talking to my camera. It's not a big deal. There's my cat. Okay, so why am I making this video? Number one, because I recently saw Star Wars: The Last Jedi and I absolutely hated it. And I feel like I need to get a little bit of that critical feeling out. Now, I find YouTube to be an extraordinarily awesome platform for talking about anything. You can find videos on anything, you can talk about anything. But with that, you're going to have a lot of combative personalities, trolls, and people that just want to pick apart your personal opinions and beliefs. And hey, free speech. I'm all for that. But what am I trying to say? I don't even know. I should start by saying this is my first YouTube video ever. Yay! Does that mean that I'm a YouTuber? No, not at all. This is, there's a very high chance that this is a one and done video. So basically my point in uploading it is just to, okay. Long story short, I have been looking at a lot of Star Wars videos lately on YouTube. Yeah, I'm a nerd. Yeah, if you couldn't tell from my anime Leia against the Chicken Walker t-shirt, I'm a nerd. In many different facets, I'm a nerd. I'm a big fan of science. I'm a big fan of a lot of pop culture nerdy things. I'm not gonna get into that. But what I'm a nerd for lately, and first and foremost, is Star Wars. I mean, not lately. I've been a Star Wars fan since I was 6 going on 7 years old. Since I first saw the original trilogy, which I should tell you is my Star Wars. Hashtag my Star Wars. That is my Star Wars. The prequels, hashtag not my Star Wars. The animated series, I can appreciate them. I've seen some of them. They're not terrible. I mean, they're not the best, but like, I'm on board. Okay, cool, whatever. Force Awakens, yeah, really, I felt it. I enjoyed The Force Awakens, mainly because it felt like Star Wars for me for the first time in years. So one thing you should know about me is that I am a hardcore original trilogy fan, which means that I will not watch the original trilogy if it is the re-released version that Lucas came out with in the late 90s or early 2000s or whenever he re-released those movies with the extra special effects, i.e. CGI dewbacks in the background of Tatooine and Hayden Christensen in place of the actor that played frickin' Darth Vader. Like, why? Yoda's the same age, Obi-Wan's the same age. Why is Hayden Christensen there? First of all, I'm sorry. I don't want to get hateful, but like, screw Hayden Christensen's portrayal of Anakin Skywalker. I'm sorry. Lucas drank some sort of money-injected Kool-Aid or something and just went off the rails and made these decisions, and that's fine, and I feel for my boy. Like, Lucas, I'm sorry. Whatever you've been through, I'm getting way off track. See, this is why I'm not a YouTuber, because if I was a YouTuber, I would be all over the place and nobody would want to listen to me, and I'm sure this video is probably going to get like 17 views, tops, and weird people out, and there are going to be a lot of judgmental and hateful comments on there, but whatever, I'm open to it, because you know what, I'm a Star Wars fan, so bring it on, guys. And let me tell you, who's the more foolish, the fool or the fool who follows him? You know what that's from? You know who said that? Yes, my man, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Alright, I'm gonna stop being so weird. I'm not, actually, because I just am weird. But, okay, so, the reason I'm making this video is because, as I was saying, I've been watching a lot of YouTube Star Wars related videos on YouTube, and I've been commenting. And I've noticed that my comments are getting a lot of responses from people that are kind of hating and kind of judging on me for judging The Last Jedi, which is really interesting to me because The Last Jedi didn't feel like Star Wars to me. First of all, I should start by saying that The Last Jedi did not feel like Star Wars to me at all. Hang on one sec. I'm like noticing, like I don't know anything about camera quality, but I'm noticing it's really dark, so I'm gonna open my blinds. So give me 1 second, just to get a little light in here. You know, is that better? Is that better? Yeah, that's better. A little bit. The Last Jedi. I don't even want to go back to the emotional state I was in when I was watching The Last Jedi. I was with my boyfriend. We were on the couch. It was 2 weeks ago, I want to say. And I've been putting it off for a long time because I've heard very mixed reviews from people. First of all, I should let it be known that I am an introvert. If you hadn't already guessed by the fact that I'm on YouTube like all the time, watching videos and commenting on videos. I feel like that's kind of an introvert thing. I mean, maybe not, but I'm an introvert and that's like what I love to do. So I'm kind of an introvert. But the people that I do know that love Star Wars and know me, were all like, it was a very divided response, it seemed. And that's how it seems. And it's really, really weird because to me, the prequels I don't count as Star Wars, and The Last Jedi certainly do not count as Star Wars. And it was like heartbreaking. Like, at least with the prequels, it felt a little more like removed from the actual world and realm of Star Wars as I know it, or as I feel it in my heart, because it didn't even resemble Star Wars in my opinion. I mean, it had some aspects of it, obviously, but it was like almost on a kitschy level where it didn't actually resonate as that's real. It felt like a simulacra or a hologram of what it should be. But with The Last Jedi, you actually had, Carrie Fisher, and you had Mark Hamill and C-3PO and R2-D2 and Chewbacca, and I liked The Force Awakens enough to like be open to Rey and Finn and Poe, and then it was just this like cacophony of disjointed, messy, Star Wars crap. Like it was not Star Wars. It was not. See, this is the thing. I'm usually really, really good at articulating things, whether it's through talking or through writing. But this is what hey kids, this is what The Last Jedi does to your brain. Like, public service announcement, you think drugs are bad, you think cigarettes are gonna mess up your lungs, this is what The Last Jedi does to your brain. If you're having a hard time like understanding where I'm coming from, one film that I highly recommend watching is a little documentary that I happen to love called The People versus George Lucas. This little documentary, it's fun, it's silly. People take Star Wars very, very seriously, which is another thing that I've been noticing. Like, a lot of trolls really like going after Star Wars fans like myself that are like, I didn't like the new Star Wars movie, and they like really love hating on me for that, which is, I understand it. I get it. I'm making myself a target because I'm like, I love Star Wars that much. But guess what? There's probably something that you freaks love just as much too. Like, I love barbecued shrimp and I can't get enough of it. Like, you have your thing. You all have your things. So stop going and pretending that you don't have your thing and acting like people with a Star Wars thing are weird. Because you know what? Yeah, I'm weird and I'm proud of it and I don't even care. So, anyway, I don't know. I really don't know where I'm going with this. I just want to kind of explain myself a little bit, so hopefully y'all coming at me in the comment section can kind of have a little bit better understanding of what I'm talking about and what everyone's talking about. Because I feel like this actually is like a very sad situation for people to be in. Star Wars has been around for a long time, a long time. That was my Allen Guinness impression, if you didn't notice. And I understand that there are people out there that love all things Star Wars, and I have no problem with that. I think that's awesome. I really do. I think it's really cool if you love Star Wars so much that you're just like, Star Wars everything. Star Wars prequels, Star Wars animated stuff, Star Wars CGI, Star Wars video games, blah, 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 blah. I get it, and that's awesome, and I have no problem with that. Although I have been known to make a comment here and there where it's like, if you like the prequels, then you're not a true Star Wars fan, because I do get a little bit elitist with my Star Wars stuff. I'm sorry. But there was a true, unequivocal magic. Sorry, I was like not knowing how to say that. But I really feel like there was a magical element to the original trilogy, like the original release trilogy, especially when I saw Star Wars the first time. I was 7 years old, and I had seen other movies from the 90s. I had had access to a certain degree of special effects and stuff. I think by that time I feel like I'd already seen Jurassic Park, which I feel like to this day is still some of the best realistic special effects I've ever seen. It holds up. I mean, if y'all want to go back into another movie that holds up real well with really good, excellent special effects. I mean, excellent. I mean, they have the perfect mix of like what's it called? Like real life, like they use some puppetry, but then they use just the right amount of, I don't remember, I guess that was the advent of CGI was right around then, so I guess it was CGI. Oh my god, it's just such a perfect melding. It doesn't feel green screeny, it doesn't feel CGI, it feels like you are in that world and the actors are in that world with the creations, the dinosaurs. And I honestly feel the same way about the original trilogy. And yeah, it was a lot older by then. It was from the 70s when I was 7. And it was 1990 whatever. I'm bad at math. But it resonated with me. And I feel like that is such a unique thing to have, especially now with kids that are being brought up in a world where almost every single film that they're going to see, especially if it's targeted for children, is going to have some degree of animation or digital wizardry and CGI. If you can find something that resonates with you the way that Star Wars resonated with me, and okay, so here's another whole bag of tricks is Luke Skywalker was like, first of all, I had a huge crush on Luke Skywalker. And guilty, I still kind of do. I'm sorry. Like, I know Mark Hamill, like, is a lot older than me. But, like, I just, oh my gosh, when I watch the original trilogy and he's just, like, so dreamy. But this is the cool thing is, like, I also identified with him. And I felt like, I want to be like that. I want to be like him. And don't get me wrong, same thing with Carrie Fisher. But I was a tomboy. And I still kind of feel like a tomboy a lot, even though I'm more feminine now. I definitely feel like a tomboy. And to this day, I'm like, who's my biggest hero? I think it might still be Luke Skywalker from the original trilogy. Not the blue milk drinking original Luke Skywalker on Tatooine when that was bantha milk or whatever. But not the blue milking Luke Skywalker on whatever the F planet that was, milking that creature. Poor Mark Hamill, you guys butchered him. Like, he deserves better than this. He was Luke Skywalker, and then he was like the Joker, and like, he did great voiceover. He had a great voiceover career, voice acting career, and he's just so pure. I feel like he's such a pure. He's not a Hollywood guy. Like, he was never like, he never got tainted by that. I don't think he ever even went down a path where he would have been, but I always think he was such a good guy. And then he was so excited to do Star Wars, and then he did that. Like, The Force Awakens built up this I thought it was a really beautifully done stepping stone into the next world of Star Wars. Killed me when Han Solo died, thank you very much. Like, I'm still not over that. But then it just like fell off. It would be like serving someone this amazing hors d'oeuvre first course, be like, this is the finest, this and this and this, and you remember all these elements from childhood that are delicious and delectable, and oh yes, you can recognize all of them, and they all taste just as good and delicious, and there are new themes, and here have this, and it's amazing. You're like, oh my gosh, this reminds me of the kind of food I used to eat when I was younger, and it's great, and it's recognizable, and it's wonderful. And then you get to the main course, and they serve you lukewarm microwaved fish. and it's falling apart, and you can't tell what's what, and it has some of the elements, but you're like, wait, that's fake though. That's not even real fish. That's imitation fish. I didn't even know they made imitation fish. And it's not like good quality vegan fish. It's like plasticky, gross fish. What can I say? I'm good at metaphors. Anyway, I don't know if this is making it better for me and getting my opinion out there in a in a cohesive and eloquent way. Doesn't feel eloquent at all. Or if I'm just kind of like opening up this door for people to be like, girl, are you crazy and stupid and weird and frizzy hair? Okay, first of all, that's not my fault because it's really raining outside today. Dude, I don't even know. I need to be able to get something out there. I want to open up this dialogue because there's only so much you can write on comments on other people's YouTube videos about Star Wars. And that's where I'm at. I've been writing comments on other people's YouTube videos about Star Wars, and I have so much to say. And not that I think my voice is more important than anyone else's, but I do know how connected I feel to Star Wars. And in a very specific way, which I know some people can really relate to. And I guess that's what I'm looking for, is those of you who can relate to what I'm saying about Star Wars and appreciate the things that I appreciate about Star Wars. And also, like, let's have a discussion about what went wrong. I mean, we all know what went wrong, right? I mean, come on, it's not rocket science. But I feel like, I don't know what else to say. Maybe I will, if this goes well and I get more than 17 views, and some positive feedback, or at least constructive feedback in the comments, like maybe I'll make more Star Wars related videos, or I don't know, any kind of video, honestly, that allows a platform for reasonable, happy, healthy discussions. So yeah, that's it. I gotta apologize for the quality of this video, because clearly I am not a YouTuber. I have not shot any YouTube videos. If you want to check out my other videos, I have a video of my cat, Nova, playing fetch, and a video of a French Bulldog puppy that I used to puppy sit for. So there you go. I'm a huge YouTuber. Give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe and then all the stuff the YouTubers do. And I'm just kidding. You don't have to do any of that. But what I would love is if you have an opinion on this, I would love to talk about it. So try to be respectful in the comments. I know I'm nerdy and a little manic, but I think that all comes from a place of good and wanting to connect with people on this sort of thing. So even if you disagree with what I'm saying, I'm sure you have a lot of valid points. And like I said before, I think I can sometimes, especially when I comment, I can come off as kind of like an elitist Star Wars fan. And that's something that I think I've always had trouble with. And it's not because I think I'm better. It's only because I feel so, because I love Star Wars so much. I really do, though, because I really love and care about Star Wars. But I really love and care about my specific original trilogy, original released versions of Star Wars. And I feel like a lot has happened since, and it's kind of like taken the dream away from me. Just the whole, I'm remembering another point I wanted to touch on too. And I don't want to get political to any extent, but I've seen a lot of, I haven't made any of these comments myself, but I've seen a lot of other, I have to open the blinds again, hang on. I've seen a lot of other people make comments about like SJWs and Star Wars, and I get what they're saying. Listen, I think it's really sad that people think that Star Wars is too male-dominated a series, because I never felt that way, and I'm a woman, and I was a little girl, and as I said, I truly, deeply identified and connected with the character of Luke Skywalker and Han Solo, and Lando Calrissian's one of my favorite characters, and Darth Vader, and this is the thing, you don't need to have, let's not forget about Leia. She was a strong female character. Yes, she wore a gold medal bikini in Return of the Jedi, but you know what she also did? She choked the ish out of Jabba the Hutt, who was trying to enslave her and use her as an objectified slave girl. Like, come on, she choked that dude. She killed him by herself. I mean, I think she maybe had a little help from R2. I don't really remember the exact series of events, but come on, he put her in a metal bikini that she didn't want to be in. She looked gorgeous, if I may say so myself, and then she choked him. Like, done. Sorry. She didn't have Luke do it for her. She didn't have Han do it for her. I mean, he was blind, so it wasn't much. But she didn't have anybody do that for her but herself. And so if you're telling me we need Rey to come in and she's the strong female character, I'm sorry, but she feels a little puny compared to Carrie Fisher to me. She feels a little bit puny and weak and whiny compared to someone like Princess Leia, who was a friggin' awesome kick-ass girl. Like, come on. But anyway, where was I even going with this? Oh yeah, the introduction of new characters, and listen, like, I love Finn. He's awesome, and I felt like he was so cool in Force Awakens. I loved that he was a stormtrooper, and it didn't jive with him. It felt wrong to be in this world, literally this confining suit of armor, and he like fought against it and went against them and rebelled. I think that was an awesome thing. And see, I liked Rey too. I don't want you to think that I was like bad mouthing her, but then in this one, they literally, I didn't give a crap about any of the new characters. I barely cared about Princess Leia, and I love her. She's one of my favorite characters in any movie of all time. And when she was dying there in space, I was like, what is this? I think I heard someone, I said, what is this, Mary Poppins? To my boyfriend. We were sitting next to each other and we laughed. And when she started like using the Force to like float herself across the whatever, and then someone in, like, I forget, someone in another video, shout out to whoever said this, said, whoa, Carrie Poppins? And I was like, yeah, Carrie Poppins, that's perfect. So funny. But anyway, I am really bad at staying on target. Stay on target. I wouldn't be able to be Red 5 or even Porkins. I don't have the, that target focuser thing. I need to use the Force and put away my computerized target machine. And see, this is what happens when you're a Star Wars nerd and you have really bad ADHD, which, by the way, I think everyone has that. But yeah, like I said, I'm not a YouTuber. I think I've said enough. I'm looking at the time. This is a 26-minute video. It's been long enough. So let's, anyway, final thoughts. Oh, the biggest point I wanted to make, and I think I've said this in a few comments, with The Last Jedi, which is my inspiration for making this video. Throughout the entire film, and within even the first, I'd say 7 minutes of the film, I remember thinking in my head, this feels like someone who is not truly connected to Star Wars, at least not in the way that I am, and at least not in the way that I feel like any of the people featured in The People versus George Lucas feel. Like any of those really hardcore OT original trilogy fans, he's not connected to Star Wars. Rian Johnson or Rain Johnson or however you pronounce his name. He doesn't feel, the video that sparked this was I was watching a panel with him and Mark Hamill, and the way he was just so smug and so self-assured, but which signaled to me that he's actually very insecure. He seemed like someone that was just like, you know what? I know Star Wars. I'm gonna do Star Wars. I'm gonna do a Star Wars movie. I'm gonna do a Star Wars movie. I'm gonna get Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill, but you know what? I'm also gonna get Laura Dern and Benicio del Toro. I think that was it, right? Yeah, and Justin Theroux for 30 seconds, not even. And I'm gonna make myself a Star Wars movie. And you know what? I'm gonna piss off all the fans, because guess what? You can't make all the fans happy, so I'll make some of the weird, like, general fans happy. No. It did not feel like a Star Wars film. It felt like someone trying to make a Star Wars film. And that's where I'm going to leave you, ladies and gentlemen, with my little quote here. When it comes to Star Wars, you can't try to make a Star Wars film. You do or do not. There is no try. Take that all the way to the bank. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about that for now. I'm sure I could think of a lot more things to say, but I'm not gonna bore all 16 of you to death. Sorry. Anyway, it's like a few days before May the 4th, so maybe I'll get this out there before May the 4th. I don't know how to edit anything, so I'm probably not going to edit this. I'm probably just going to put it out there, and it's going to look like shit. Excuse my language, and no one's going to want to watch it, but hey, I did it. I didn't try. I did it. I did it. Oh my god, I'm so lame. Anyway, a little bit about me. My name's Kelly. I'm 30 years old. I obviously love Star Wars. I'm a school teacher. And I love cats, and I love animals, and I'm a big nerd, and yeah, that's it. That's all I got for now. So, like I said, keep it respectful in the comments. If you have any criticism, please try to make it constructive, because if it isn't, then you're basically just a troll. So just be nice, be constructive, Be positive. If you can't be positive, be constructive. May the force be with you. Bye.